Welcome to today's Explainer. Now, listen, we are stepping into a story today that completely shatters the boundaries of logic, forensic science, and honestly, reality itself. Imagine you're right in the middle of a dark, cinematic crime thriller, but the clues? Well, they aren't coming from the living. Today, we're opening up the supernatural mystery box to examine a chilling police investigation where the timeline absolutely defies all scientific explanation. If you think you know how a standard police procedural works, gathering evidence and catching the bad guy, prepare to have your expectations completely flipped in the dark. Okay, let's dive into this. The entire impossible sequence of events starts right here, with a single, terrifying quote. It's the dead of night. Inspector Rakesh, who is this incredibly sharp, dedicated officer, known for literally never leaving a case unsolved, is working a late shift. Suddenly, the station phone rings. He answers, and on the other end is a trembling, desperate woman whispering, "Sir, save me. He will kill me." Her voice is incredibly faint, terrified, and just shaking with absolute dread. I really want you to picture the sensory details of this exact moment. It's exactly 1 a.m. The only sound in that entire police station is the rhythmic, heavy ticking of a wall clock, which honestly makes the sudden ringing of the phone feel even more jarring. Outside, a howling wind is rattling the windows. Rakesh instantly demands to know her location. Gasping for air, the woman says she's been abandoned in a forest. Seconds later, a GPS ping lights up Rakesh's phone, highlighting a notorious pitch-black forest exactly 25 kilometers away from the city. It's an area already infamous for dark, unexplained incidents. Rakesh tells her to keep her phone on, but then the line abruptly goes dead. Section 1. The Midnight Call. A desperate plea that triggers a tense, adrenaline-fueled 40-minute drive right into absolute, suffocating darkness. Section 2. Creepy forest and a corpse. A grim discovery is waiting in the heavy, total silence of the pitch-black woods. So the tension in the woods right now is palpable. The police jeep's headlights are turned off, and every single snapping twig sounds like a gunshot. Suddenly, Constable Irfan shouts out. Hidden deep within a patch of thorny bushes, he spots something. It's a cracked mobile phone, faintly glowing in the dark. Rakesh rushes over and carefully picks up the device. Now, what's truly chilling about this specific detail is how it instantly connects the isolated police team to the terrifying unknown. Rakesh looks down at the cracked, glowing screen. He checks the call log to see who this woman was trying to reach. The last dialed number, staring right back at him, is his own. It was the exact call he received just an hour ago. The victim was right here, but the question is, where is she now? As they stand there just staring at the phone, the horror rapidly escalates. It's like a nightmare coming to life. First, the wind violently whips up, thrashing the tree branches. Then, a faint, chilling woman's scream echoes through the trees, begging for help. The constables absolutely freeze. As they cautiously step toward the source of the sound, a horrific, rotting smell hits them. Rakesh shines his heavy flashlight into a thick patch of brush, and there they find her, a brutally battered, completely unidentifiable female corpse. The body is in a state of severe decomposition. Section 3. Shocking Truth of the Forensic Report. The next day brings a medical twist that completely shatters all scientific logic. And this brilliantly illustrates the utter impossibility of the case. The autopsy confirms the victim died from a heavy blow to the head exactly 7 days ago. Furthermore, telecom records show her mobile phone was completely powered off 2 days ago. Yet, somehow, at 1 a.m. last night, a live phone call was made from that very device to Inspector Rakesh. I mean, let that sink in for a second. If she died 7 days ago, and her body was literally rotting in the forest, who or what called the police station last night? Whose trembling voice did Inspector Rakesh hear, pleading for her life? This paranormal impossibility shakes the veteran inspector to his absolute core. Section 4. Hunt and Arrest of the Killer. For Rakesh, this impossible, supernatural case just became a deeply personal crusade. So the crucial point is that the evidence quickly points terrifyingly close to home. Rakesh interviews the neighbors, and the suspect profile reveals a dark reality. An abusive husband with a history of domestic violence, constant screaming and fighting. Even more damning, quiet whispers from the community reveal that he's actively involved in the local underground drug trade. He had the motive, he had the temper, and he certainly had the criminal background. Rakesh puts the husband under heavy, round-the-clock surveillance. And it doesn't take long. During a dead-of-night operation, Rakesh and his team sweep in and catch the husband red-handed, right in the middle of a major drug deal. He's immediately thrown into the back of a police cruiser and hauled into the station for a brutal, fast-paced interrogation. Now, at first, he completely denies everything, hiding behind this massive wall of arrogance. But Rakesh relentlessly presents the evidence. He lays out the forensic timeline, the cracked phone, the testimonies. Finally, the suspect breaks. Through tears, he offers this exact chilling confession. "I didn't kill her intentionally, in anger, just one blow. She was against my business." This perfectly matches the forensic report of a fatal, heavy strike to the head. He murdered his wife because she stood in the way of his narcotics trafficking, and then he just dumped her body in the haunted forest to rot. 6 months. That is all it took. The evidence, the confession, and the undeniable forensic reports were presented in court. The legal system actually moved swiftly. The husband was handed a death sentence for his brutal crime. And in a rare display of rapid justice, the execution was carried out a mere 4 days after the final verdict was delivered. The case was officially closed. The killer was dead. Section 5. Justice Beyond Death. A final, supernatural farewell in the quiet, atmospheric dawn. A few days after the execution, Rakesh has just finished an exhausting, long night shift. The sun is barely rising as he pulls into his driveway, the engine of his motorcycle ticking as it cools down. Let's move ahead and see how this builds into our final incredible moment. A very familiar, ethereal voice breaks the quiet morning silence, calling out softly from right behind him. "Inspector, sir." Rakesh's breath catches in his throat. He slowly turns around. Standing there in the morning mist is Pooja. But she isn't the battered, terrified victim from the forest. Her face is incredibly peaceful, and her eyes are just filled with profound gratitude. She looks at the stunned inspector and gently speaks. "Don't be afraid. You got me justice. I am free now." Rakesh is completely paralyzed. He is unable to utter a single word in response. He just watches in silent awe as her physical form slowly begins to blur, her edges softening into the morning light, until she completely fades away into the cool morning air, leaving him standing entirely alone in his driveway. Rakesh stood there for a long time that morning, realizing that his duty wasn't just to the living, but sometimes to the restless souls desperately seeking peace. Which leaves us with this final, lingering question. Does the power of truth and justice find its way even beyond death? Because sometimes it seems a cry for help is so strong, so deeply rooted in the need for justice, that it literally breaks the very laws of reality to be heard. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the unknown. Take this question with you today and keep searching for the truth.